Mumbai Indians, Delhi Capitals, a repeat of last year's final, and it's Delhi's first game in Chennai. Let's look ahead to it then on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPNcricinfo T20 Timeout, powered by Intel. I'm Ronak Kapoor, and Ajit, Agarkar and Dale Steyn are all set to join me.
We call it people technology.
Intel 入ってる。
Ajit, point number one is Delhi make their trip to the Chepauk is that they should attack with R Ashwin, who had a quiet role to play in Mumbai, but should Pant use him in the power play at his home ground at the Chepauk?
I'm sure they'll be thinking along those lines. I think his numbers at Chepauk are exceptional. We've seen what the pitch does, although the one RCB KKR seem to play a lot better. So it'll be interesting to see if the pitches will start playing a little bit better at Chennai, but he's certainly an option up top. I mean, if Nokia is fit, Nokia might come back, but Ashwin certainly, particularly with Quinton de Kock opening the inning. Ashwin got Rohit out last year as well with the new ball, if I'm not wrong. So
Yes.
It's certainly an option because there is something in it for the spinners.
Spinners would generally relish getting away from the Wankhede Dale to any other ground, but the Chepauk in particular, they wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I think if they wanted to go somewhere, that's the place they want to go. But as Ajit alluded to, the scores seem to have changed a little bit. There's been some big scores now in Chennai and some lower scores in Mumbai. So it's all to kind of like decide on the day. You got to go and have a look at the pitch. Management, coaches, captains will have a look, and they'll have to decide on what kind of strategy they want to go about, whether they want to open the bowling with somebody like Ashwin against a Quinny de Kock, and he's also gotten Rohit out too, so that's also a good option, or whether they want to bring in like a Nokia and go with the extra pace. So a lot of questions for Delhi playing their first game in Chennai, while I think Mumbai are a little bit more settled and won't be as nervy about playing tonight.
All right. Now, a selection call for Delhi is also whether they bring back the experienced Amit Mishra. Only one game in Mumbai, and leg spinners have had more of a say in Chennai. Would you make room for Mishra?
I think there's always space for a leg spinner. You know, his numbers are great. He's a wicket taker. There's always a spot for him in any starting 11.
Ajit, Lalit Yadav or Amit Mishra, or remove seamer and play Amit Mishra?
Yeah, they might look to remove a seamer, isn't it? I mean, while Lalit Yadav provides a little bit with the ball, obviously they've taken him because of his batting ability as well. So if they had to make a change, but it'd be a good change either way because it is a slightly bigger ground in Chennai. There will be a little bit more help. A lot of batsmen have had trouble against the leg spin. And if you have an option in your ranks and you're playing in Chennai, you may as well try and take that option because I don't think an extra seamer is going to make that big a difference at that particular ground, unless, of course, he's one of your main seamers or one of your frontline seamers. So Amit Mishra certainly is a good option.
All right. What about Jayant Yadav as a good option? Mumbai did want to play him against Delhi Capitals, played him in the final last time in the IPL as well. Ajit, few left-handers in that Delhi side. Would you find room for Jayant Yadav?
I don't think it's such a bad idea if Mumbai can go with 3 overseas guys. At the moment, fourth, Marco Jansen, very new to this competition. They left him out and played Adam Milne. And although it's been one game and T20 can be hard at times, I don't think it's such a bad idea if they can go with just 3 overseas guys. And if they have a good enough Indian player, and Jayant Yadav is someone who could make a difference against Delhi Capitals. So that is an option. And I think they might take the Piyush Chawla is another one in their squad. But with the kind of left-handers that Delhi have, I think Jayant Yadav could very well turn out to be a good option.
Well, Bangalore went that way, Dale, by playing just the 3 overseas. Mumbai, you think, one of the few teams that could afford to play 3 overseas. If they want to make room for Jayant Yadav, bring him in for the overseas seamer?
Yeah, I mean, they could. They've had Marco Jansen there. They've had Adam Milne. Both, I mean, Mills only played 1 game, but they both haven't exactly kind of fired. And we've seen teams do this. If they feel like there's somebody that's a foreign player that they don't need to play, then they don't do that. But Mumbai also been in good form. They've only lost the 1 and they've won the last 2, so they might feel settled to kind of stick with the same side. But it really does depend on what they see in the surface. And whether they want to make any changes. But Mumbai look pretty good.
Last game, Ajit. But one thing they did do is send Kyron Pollard ahead of the Pandyas. Would you want to stick with that? Pollard just getting a few more balls?
haven't really got going. Him or Hardik Pandya. It could be because of the conditions. It could be because of some good bowling against them. But yeah, someone like a Pollard, we've seen in recent years that there is another dimension to his game. Sometimes he's quite happy to take his time, target certain bowlers. So if he's going to bat with that intelligence, there's nothing wrong in using, because that kind of not every team has that kind of firepower. Hardik Pandya, for some reason at the moment, it is not looking as good as he did about 3 weeks back playing for India. But like I said, it's only been 3 games, and because we are used to them playing so well, you're probably picking on it.
Hardik, it's kind of like a headache for Mumbai as to who to kind of send in first. You know, I think both of them require a couple balls to get going. I know Hardik, although he hasn't scored any runs yet, something as simple as the runouts that he got the other day will get him motivated. He needs something to spark him to get going. And although he hasn't fired with a bat, simply getting those direct hit runouts the other day might be the difference for him firing with the bat. You know, that's just how these players are. Pollard, on the other hand, he needs a couple more deliveries to get going, but he makes it up so much in the end. He hits 2 or 3 sixes, and all of a sudden his strike rate just kind of skyrockets. So it's not a bad option. If Kyron is batting better than Hardik at the moment, I'd probably send him in ahead of him and give him a little bit of extra time.
If everyone is available in fit, Dale, would you make room for Nokia and Rabada playing together, or does Chris Woke still keep his place?
Chris has done nicely. He's come in and he's taken wickets. He's bowled well. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think the way that the Aussies kind of think, and with Ricky Ponting being up there, and the way that they played last year, there might be an opportunity for Nokia to slip in, to open the bowling with Rabada and have that similar kind of bowling lineup that they had. Nokia, Ashwin, Rabada, and they get that kind of flowing, and they can get onto a winning way. There might be a chance that we might see that happen.
Chris Wokes or Amrit Nokia, it looks like that's the call, Ajit, for Delhi to make.
Yeah, I think they should, and if that's the call they have to make, because the ball won't swing or seam as much in Chennai either. That Chris Wokes got a little bit of help in a couple of the games in Mumbai, and we saw what Amrit Nokia did last year for them. And on that pitch, you know, someone who bowls as quick as he does, can be a handful on any pitch, but it can sometimes be awkward to face as well when it's not where it's a little bit inconsistent. So if he's fit, he's certainly got to come in that 11.
All right, thank you very much, Ajit Agarkar and Dale Steyn. Looking ahead to this game between Delhi and Mumbai at the Chepauk on Maruti Suzuki presents ESPNcricinfo T20 Timeout, powered by Intel.
We call it people technology.
インテル入ってる